Welcome to today's broadcast of Carroll High School Athletics. This is CSBN, the Carroll Sports Broadcasting Network, the worldwide leader in Charger sports. Now, here are your Carroll Chargers.
Hello everybody and welcome to CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports. I'm Nathan Weaver along with
Matthew Jones.
And we'll be calling today's game between the Carroll Chargers and Huntington North.
The Vikings.
From D&R Gorgeous Athletic Complex, your two-time defending Carroll state champions are going against the 8-0 red-hot Vikings today. Carroll, led by Coach Dave Gender, are 7-2 so far this season. Starting lines for today's game, Matt.
For Huntington North first, leading off and playing center field, number 2, Cody Frazier. Batting second and playing first base, number 10, Kendall Whitman. Batting third and playing third base, number 12, Mitch Trigraph. Batting cleanup and the DH, number 14, Evan Brown. Batting fifth and catching, number 13, Ethan Bartram. Batting sixth and pitching, number 5, Trevor Story. Batting seventh and playing second base, number 1, Jared Green. Batting eighth and playing shortstop, number 7, Brock Gower. And batting ninth and playing right field, number 8, Braden Still. And for your Carroll Chargers, leading off and playing center field, number 16, Drew Tranquil. Batting second and playing first base today, number 3, Tanner Ginder. Batting third and playing left field, number 8, Grant Wilson. Batting fourth and pitching, number 17, Peyton Loniger. Batting fifth and catching, number 20, Elliott Ford. Batting sixth and DHing, number 19, Cody Chase. Batting seventh and playing shortstop, number 6, Ross Koval. Batting eighth and playing right field, number 12, Matt Kowalski. And batting ninth and playing second base, number 21, Connor Hansen.
All right, thank you, Matt. And today, your Carroll Chargers are wearing their blue outfits with the gray rim on the letters with their white pants. Huntington North is wearing their black outfits with red lettering and white pants. So, from D&R Gorgeous Center, what do you expect from the Chargers today going up against the red-hot Huntington North Vikings?
This is going to be a tough game. I wouldn't be surprised to see this going to extra innings. Carroll is ranked number 11 in the state, the number 5 for Huntington North. Carroll is not off to as good a start as usual. They're 7-2. They've lost twice. Huntington North is 8-0. They have not lost yet this season.
Well, Carroll also lost one of their top seniors this year. That affected them greatly, but they also have a lot of young players coming up, and hopefully they have a good season.
Well, we'll see what happens. The pitching matchup, Peyton Loniger pitching today. He's got a lot of power behind at the plate. Have you seen him pitch yet?
No, this is my first game broadcasting this season, so very excited.
Yeah, Goshen pitched last time, and he threw hard. I'm not sure if Loniger is going to be able to match that, but we'll see what happens. Goshen had a lot of heat, he had a lot of velocity, and he had a decent breaking ball. So we'll see what happens. And then for Huntington North, they've got some senior leadership led by their pitcher, Trevor Story. We'll see how he looks a little bit later. And it's the main thing I've got.
All right, well, as for now, that's our pregame, and we'll be right back with the start of this exciting game we got ahead of us. We'll be right back with CSBN, your worldwide leader in Charger sports.
This is Dave Ginder, head baseball coach of the back-to-back state champion Chargers, and you're listening to Charger Baseball on CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports. I'm Nathan Weaver, along with
Matthew James
and Peyton Loniger, currently warming up on the mound with catcher Elliott Ford. Coming up to bat is number 2,
Cody Frazier.
Cody Frazier, the center fielder for Huntington North.
First pitch is a ball, second pitch right down the middle for strike 1. Ball on a strike. Peyton Loniger off to a good start this season on the mound and at the plate. So far he's 2-0 on the mound with 11 1/3 innings pitched, and he leads the team with a .62 ERA. And the third pitch is the third pitch hit him. So Frazier on it with the leadoff hit by pitch. So quickly a runner on first. Batting second is number 10, playing first base, Kendall Whitman. He does bat from the left side. Loniger's first pitch. That hits him. Ooh. 2 straight hit batters to start the game.
That's not a good way to start with, Carroll.
Ford comes out to talk to him. That is... I don't think I've seen two batters to start a game before.
He's got to calm his pitch down a little bit and slow it down.
He isn't throwing quite as hard as we saw Goshen throw last week, but he's through with decent velocity, but doesn't have great control so far. So runners on first and second with no outs. Waniger from the stretch. The pitch is swung on and missed, strike one. That was a good pitch there. Waniger has 6 walks compared to 11 strikeouts, so but he does not have great control here, as now Mitch Trigraph is up at the plate. The pitch is down the middle for strike 2.
It's a good pitch. He's brought it back here a little bit after those 2 straight hit by the pitch.
He's just got to calm down. We'll see what happens. That pitch was right over the middle, though. I'm surprised Trigraph didn't swing. Waniger sets. Looks back at second. Pitches. And it is just outside.
That was really close to the right.
It wasn't too high or too low. It was just a little outside. Waniger looks back and gets the signs from Ford. Sets. Looks back at second. Stretches, throws, and is swung on and misses. Nope, foul tip. Just barely tipped it. I did not see
strike 2.
Yep. Well, the Vikings, they are a good team, as we said. They are 10-0, and they're ranked number 5 in the state. They are 26th in offense and 14th in defense. And that is strike 3.
Very strong and solid team this year. It's going to be a tough one for Carroll today.
Carroll's good too, though. They're ranked number 11. They've got a little edge in offense, ranked number 17.
And they got the 2 national championships, the 2 state championships behind their backs,
and a strikeout early from Waniger. That is his 12th of the season, and now batting cleanup is DH Evan Brown, number 14. Waniger still with runners on first and second. Good RBI opportunity for Brown. He's got a runner in scoring position. The first pitch is a strike on the outside corner. Good pitch. He doesn't seem to have a lot of heat, though, but he has definitely looked more composed since he hit the 2 batters.
Yeah, he also had to slow down a little bit because of his two miscues.
The second pitch, Ford couldn't find it. It was a little off the plate, and the runners advance. Not a good start here for Carroll. Frazier all the way up to third, Whitman to second. So 2 runners in scoring position for Brown. And the cleanup hitter, the DH, good hitter most likely here. So.
Well, he's also taking the place of Caleb Richardson. He's in left field. He's going to be maybe coming in and hitting for Evan Brown later in the game. We'll see if they transition.
Waniger's third pitch is a breaking ball over the plate for strike 2. Waniger sets. He takes a look over at the runner on third, stretches, throws, and that one looks almost like a splitter. That one
was very low.
It bounced off the plate. Ball 2. 2-2 to Brown with 1 out. Waniger is moving quickly here. Sets into the windup, throws, is just a little bit high, maybe a little outside for ball 3. We got a full count now. Waniger has thrown 108 strikes compared to 64 balls on the season. Not a great strikeout-to-ball ratio. Not great control, but he has good ERA. And that pitch hit the other way by Brown, and just missed. It was a foul ball. That is the right call, but
from here it looked like it almost hit the line, but
it sliced. There's not a ton of wind today, but the flag's blowing a little bit better now than it was about 10 minutes ago.
And Brown put a lot into that. You could see it's fully extended, and that ball just missed.
Good hitting, though. Piece of hitting it the other way down the right field line.
A very solid stance.
So we'll do it again. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Waniger gets the sign. Pitches is low. So he walks the bases loaded here with just 1 out. So this is not a good start. And batting 5th and catching is number 13, Ethan Bartram. We'll see what he does now. He's got a golden opportunity with the bases loaded, but no hits for Huntington North yet.
So they only have 1 out, so it could be dangerous also here for Huntington North. It could get could hit it right over to second, or
well, if you get a ground, and the first pitch is ball 1.
They can easily ground it out here and get a 1-2.
Well, any ball hit on the ground, they should try to go home if they can. Loniger with a 1-0 count, pitches, and that one swung on and missed. Good pitch.
Well, especially in this situation when the bases are loaded and you got a quick guy like Cody Frazier over there in third.
Well, this has just been interesting so far when you have no hits and the bases are loaded. But Loniger's third pitch is a little bit high for ball 2. 2-1 count, 1 out. The bases are loaded for the number 5 team in the state. And when you hit 2 batters and walk 1, you just can't give that good a team the opportunities. And now 3 balls and a strike, because that one is very high, almost hit him in the head.
And Loniger's it's a little what's the word for that? He's
uncomposed.
Having trouble here in the first inning.
And that one is over on the inside corner for strike 2.
He's having trouble trying to get the right pitch.
So a full count for Bartram here at the plate. 1 out, bases loaded. The pitch is strike 3 on the outside corner. Big out. Great pitch there. A little bit of a slider that hit the outside corner for out number 2. So still, bases loaded now for the 6th hitter, pitcher Trevor Story. And he is one of the key players. He is a senior on Huntington North's team, and Huntington North has a lot of experience. So we'll see if Story can get a clutch hit and bring in a run. Loniger a little outside low, ball 1. Loniger's got to get an out here. If Huntington North cannot pull through with a hit, they'd be wasting a golden opportunity. And that pitch high, ball 2. So bases still loaded here as Frazier on third, Whitman on second, Triglaff on first. Brown on first. He walked. The pitch from Loniger is swung on, ripped into left center field. Wilson is there, but he is called off, and the catch is made by the center fielder, Drew Tranquil, and Carroll gets out of an early jam. So the score will be still 0-0 as we head to the bottom of the first. We will be right back here on CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports.
This is Dave Ginder, head baseball coach of the back-to-back state champion Chargers, and you're listening to Charger Baseball on CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports. Again, I'm Nathan Weaver, along with
Matthew Jones
and Carroll. Chargers struggling first inning. Peyton Loniger up on the mound as Cody Frazier and Kendall Whitman were hit by the pitch right off the bat, but Loniger was able to strike out Mitch Triglaff and Ethan Bartum, and finally Trevor Story flew out on a long fly into center field.
All right, and the bottom of the first is ready. Story is taking his warm-ups. Drew Tranquil up at the plate. The first pitch is inside, ball 1. Tranquil hit a home run yesterday, a grand slam. So on the season now, he has a home run and 7 RBIs, and he is hitting .273 so far. And that pitch is over, but low. I think he called that a strike. Oh, did he? Oh, 2 balls, no strikes. Story sets into his windup. Slow delivery. The pitch ripped by Tranquil down the right field line, but foul into the bullpen. 2 balls and a strike. Tranquil's got a lot of speed, but there was a lot of wind yesterday. But 3 home runs were hit, including Tranquil's grand slam. A lot of power. Story, 2 balls and a strike. The pitch is high. Ball 3.
We're looking at this year. So far, Carroll has only had 2 home runs.
Until the 3 they hit.
Until 3 yesterday. So 5 so far this season.
There was a lot of wind that pushed the ball out yesterday. Story, his windup, and that is high. Tranquil is on with a leadoff walk. That is the 9th time he has been walked this year. He has a lot of patience. Team leader in walks, and a good start for Carroll. So now batting for Carroll is first baseman Tanner Ginder. Ginder is off to a decent start, but he doesn't have a very good average to show for it, hitting just .231, no home runs, 6 RBIs. Tranquil does steal a lot of bases over there at first. The Story's giving him a look. The pitch is over, but low, ball 1. Tranquil on the season has just to the 2 stolen bases, but he's still got a lot of speed. Story waits. And Ginder fakes a bunt there, and the pitch is high, ball 2.
And that'll be a 2-0 count for Ginder. And today he's playing first baseman for Starkey. Starkey, correct?
Normally it's Newman actually playing first base. Story is into his windup. The pitch is on the inside corner for strike 1. 2 balls and a strike on Ginder to start here.
Ginder normally playing over in second base, so we'll see how he does today at first base.
It's interesting to see how he does over at the position if he gets a grounder to him. Story to pitch another fake bunt. That one is ball 3. So 3 balls and a strike on Ginder here with no outs. Runner on first base. That's Tranquil. Story sets. Long, he has a slow delivery he throws, and that one just at the elbow, it looked like, called strike 2.
So that'll give us a full count for Ginder.
We'll see what happens here. Full counts are a little pressuring for the pitcher. And now a pickoff move over to first base. Tranquil is back in there safely. Story sets, and there's the pickoff. Tranquil was going. He is caught in a rundown now, getting close, and he is going to be tagged out just before second base. So good defense, good fundamentals there on the rundown from Huntington North, and now it is a full count to Ginder with no one on base and 1 out. Ginder is 6 for 26 on the season so far, hitting from the left side here. And now Story again gets the sign from his catcher. Into his slow delivery. The pitch is hit by Ginder to the shortstop, and he throws him out. Good play there by shortstop Brock Gower. Throws over to Whitman for the second out. So quickly 2 outs for Carroll here. And now batting is number 8, Grant Wilson, the left fielder. And we'll see what he can do. He is a very good hitter. He's hitting .333 on the season with 2 home runs and 15 RBIs as Wilson takes the first pitch low for ball 1. Wilson had a home run and 5 RBIs yesterday. Second pitch is high for ball 2.
Coming up for Carroll next is the pitcher today, number 17, Peyton Loniger.
He is the cleanup hitter, and he is a very good hitter as well. As Wilson hits that one to the left side to the first baseman Whitman, he takes it himself and beats Wilson to the bag for out number 3. So that is the end of 1 inning here on CSBN, your worldwide leader in Charger sports, and the score is tied 0-0. We'll be right back with the top of the second.
This is Dave Ginder, head baseball coach of the back-to-back state champion Chargers, and you're listening to Charger Baseball on CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports.
Welcome back to CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports.
Immediately on the first pitch, Jared Green bunts, throws down the line. He is safe on a bad throw from catcher Elliott Ford, but he has come up limping. I think that ball, he took an awkward slide and landed hard on his left knee, but he's trying to walk it off here. So, good start for Huntington North. He laid a very nice bunt down the third baseline, and that is a good sign here for Huntington North, and they do not need any help being undefeated so far.
And coming up to bat next is number 7, Brock Gower. He is the shortstop for today's matchup.
We'll see what happens here, as that is the first hit of the game. We've had plenty of base runners, and that is a nice bunt infield hit for Green. Loniger got out of a jam in the first inning. He might get into one here in the second, as he gets the signs from Ford into the stretch. Pitch is a little low for ball one, as the umpire seems a little bit slow with some of his signs today. Sometimes hard to see what he's calling. So a ball with no strikes on Gower. Loniger's pitch is bunted foul for strike one.
We've also been seeing Loniger heating up his pitch at the beginning of this second inning. He's becoming a little bit more comfortable on the mound after those
the rocky start.
Very rocky start.
We'll see if he can get out of this little mini jam.
Although he did start to turn around when he pitched third, getting a strikeout.
At Loniger's pitch there outside. Ford throws down to first to check on Green, but he's back in there safely. 2 balls and a strike on Gower. Loniger again sets. The pitch is an attempted bunt. Again a throw down to first. Again safe. Strike 2 on the missed attempt for the bunt. Loniger had a strikeout, 2 strikeouts in the first inning. And we'll see if he can get his third here. Loniger again looking. He hasn't thrown a pickoff move yet. Into the stretch. The throw, that one fouled high into the air near the Carroll dugout, and that one will get out of play. So still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Loniger has looked pretty good here so far to start the second inning. The bunt, was just a nice little hit there, well placed down the third.
Well, that was also a really good hit by Jared Green, and he slammed that ball right down into right field.
He looks okay, and now that one dribbled back to Loniger by Gower, and he is thrown out at first base for out number 1 as Green advances to second. So that is out number 1. Now batting is the 9th hitter, right fielder Braden Still. We'll see what he can do with a runner in scoring position. And are you expecting this game to be a pitcher's duel after what we saw in the first inning?
And even the beginning of the second inning here, we've only had 1 hit so far in this game, and both of these pitchers are up and down with their pitches.
Another bunt. Loniger fields it and will tag Still on the first base line as Green advances to third. Interesting play strategy here we've seen from Huntington North. That's the 3rd bunt we've seen this inning.
Well,
sacrifice bunts there, but
yeah, I'm not sure what. They're trying to get Green, obviously, home to get the first score of the game, but I don't know if bunting's the best option here.
Well, Cody Frazier, the leadoff hitter, is back up, and he was hit by a pitch his first time up. Loniger checks on the runner at third, make sure he doesn't try to steal home. That pitch, nice breaking ball, swung on and missed for strike 1. Seems like Loniger almost throws a little bit of a splitter. So,
sorry about our sound here, folks. Our batteries are dying on us here.
Again. And Loniger's footer this time into the dirt. Ball 1, good block by Ford. As Loniger gets the ball back, and Green does have good speed as we saw on his bunt, but we'll see if he can get out of another jam here. He just needs 1 more out. Loniger into the windup, throws right down the middle, but over a little outside for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike with 2 outs and a runner on third against Frazier. Leadoff hitter, he has a lot of speed. Loniger into the windup. That one is swung on and fouled off behind the plate for a strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a runner on third for Huntington North here. The score is still tied at 0. Loniger's looked a lot better here in the second inning after a shaky first. Loniger peers in and gets the signs from Ford. Into his windup, and the pitch is high. Ball 3. And a full count now with 2 outs on Frazier. Again, Loniger gets in, and he seems a little bit more relaxed this inning, don't you think?
Yeah, he's feeling more comfortable on the mound. His pitches are speeding up even, so.
But that one is high for ball 4. That one at the chin. And that is a walk. So a runner on first and third for Huntington North for Kendall Whitman, the first baseman.
The good news for Loniger is he already has 2 strikeouts, both coming in the first inning, striking out Ethan Bartram, and his first one was Mitch Triglaff.
The first pitch is a ball inside on Whitman. As the count 1-0 here. Loniger is moving pretty quick, checks the runner on first and third. And into the pitch is on the inside corner for a strike.
That was a beautiful pitch by Loniger.
Just froze. Whitman there, it's hard. He got jammed out here on the hands. So he can't get any extension when it's inside like that. So we'll see again what happens here. This one fouled off for strike 2. So the count is 1-2 on Whitman with 2 outs. Runners on first and third. Green on third. Frazier on first. The pitch from Loniger is ripped by Whitman into right field. Caught. That will score a run. Green is home, and that will be run number 1 for Huntington North. The score 1-0. Now the Frazier advanced to second on the play. So an RBI single for Whitman. Runners on first and second now with 2 outs for Mitch Triglaff. What did Triglaff do his first time up?
He struck out his first at bat.
That one is over the middle for strike 1. He's got a good RBI opportunity here with a runner in scoring position. Loniger moving quickly. Pitches, and that one a little bit inside for ball 1. That one looked pretty good to me, but apparently umpire sees a little differently. We don't have a great angle up here on the third base line. Loniger into the pitch, and that one grounded to third. Tough long throw across the diamond for Kent, and that one is safe. Ginder lifted his foot off the bag, and now the bases are loaded for Huntington North again, and they have an opportunity to break this game wide open.
That was a very close call by that third baseman umpire and first baseman umpire.
We'll see what happens here if Loniger can get out of another jam. Now Evan Brown, the designated hitter, is on for Huntington North.
Thank you. And the first time at bat, he walked to first, and
so the hit now Loniger, his first pitch as he stares in. Brown is the DH cleanup hitter, dangerous here as that pitch, little curveball low, bounces off the plate for ball 1. So the bases are loaded again here for Huntington North. They already have a 1-0 lead. 2 outs. 1-0 count. The second pitch is low. Ball 2.
So Peyton in a little bit of a pickle here. He has runners on first, second, and third. The bases are loaded, and hopefully he can finish it off like he did in the first inning.
Well, the pitch is right down the middle for strike 1. 2 balls and a strike on Brown, who walked his first time up. But in the first inning, Huntington North could not capitalize on their opportunity. They do have 1 run so far here in the second, and that pitch is a high strike, strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Brown. And now this is going to be an important pitch here. Loniger can avoid a full count. He looks back at the runners, and the pitch is popped up high in the air on the first base line, and Ginder will make the catch to end the top of the second inning. So Carroll limits the damage done, and the score is 1-0 Huntington North after 1.5. We'll be right back with the bottom of the second inning here on CSBN, your worldwide leader in Charger sports.
This is Dave Ginder, head baseball coach of the back-to-back state champion Chargers, and you're listening to Charger Baseball on CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports.
Welcome back to CSBN, your worldwide leader in Charger sports. Coming up to bat first in the bottom of the second is number 17, your pitcher, Peyton Loniger.
Loniger is a good hitter. He hit a home run yesterday, so 2 home runs and 14 RBIs on the season. That one, it jammed him in on the hands, but he still gets a little blooper in between the shortstop and the left fielder. So a single for Peyton Loniger here to start the bottom of the second, and that will be Carroll's first hit. Huntington North scored a run on 2 hits last inning, but left the bases loaded, and you cannot waste opportunities like that. What do you think, Nate?
I think basically Carroll struggled, first off trying to get Peyton Loniger trying to get his groove, and he's starting to find a little bit second. We saw him heating up his pitch a little bit, and hopefully he can start to
Settle in
a little bit more.
Story, his first pitch right down the middle for a strike. Quickly gets ready for the second pitch, and that one low for ball 1. Runner on first. Loniger has 2 stolen bases on the season, and Ford has a 364 average so far with no home runs and 7 RBIs. And he looked very good last week in his at-bats. The pitch from Story, and a hard swing. Catcher didn't even hold on to that pitch.
Elliott Ford's always been one of Carroll's top batters, especially he's been on varsity, I believe, 3 out of his 4 years. Maybe his freshman year, I'm not quite sure, but I know specifically he's been there for 3 years.
Well, he took a hard cut at that ball, but he missed. Well, ball and 2 strikes. Runner on first, and there's a pickoff move. Loniger back in safely. Loniger is the team's best average hitter at 464. Then Coble hits 385 before Ford, the 364 hitter, batting in the 5th spot today. Story's wind up from the stretch. That one very high. Good job by the catcher, Bartram, to keep that from going back to the backstop. So 2 balls and 2 strikes on Ford with no outs and a runner on first. And Story's thrown pretty good heat. He hasn't had a ton of heat. He's got good velocity. But
He's really
Ford. Oh, that one between the hole. It's short and third. Going to advance Loniger up to second. Ford with a single.
Well, obviously today, he's had pretty good pitches. As the first inning, he walked Drew Tranquil, which was, a little bit of a mishap for him, but he brought it back and forced Hennigan and Grant Wilson to ground out over to first. And then Peyton Loniger finally getting that single out to center field, and Elliott Ford now singling to left.
Well, we'll see what happens here as Cody Chase, the DH, is up for Carroll. And that pitch bunted by Chase, and Story will take the out at first base, and covering first base was second baseman Jared Green, so that will be scored a 1-4. We saw one of those in the softball game, too. They don't happen very often, but I've seen 2 games in a row now. Still a productive out from Chase, as that advanced the runners to second and third.
Number 6, Ross Coble.
Ross Coble up, and he is the second best average hitter on the team, 385. He has 9 RBIs so far on the season, and we'll see if he can drive something in here for Carroll with 2 runners in scoring position.
This is also Ross Coble's junior year, so he's got 1 more year up and coming after this.
The first pitch is right down the middle for strike 1. Story has looked pretty settled here in this game so far, as he was a slow delivery. That one, little breaking ball that went over the knee, but is strike 2. I thought that one was low. That one had a lot of break at the end. But
coming up to bat next for Carroll is Mark Kowalski, and following Connor Hansen.
Coble hits that one to the shortstop. They will allow in a run as Coble rounds out to the shortstop, but that will tie up the game, as it is now 1-1 as Loniger scores. And now a runner on at third base, Ford. So a runner on third with 2 outs for Matt Kowalski. He is hitting .238, 5 for 21 so far in the season.
And he's playing right field out for Carroll today.
And he takes strike 1 there at the knees. Story has on 26 pitches, 15 for strikes so far. So pretty good control, but he's only got 4 more strikes than balls so far, so we'd like to improve that ratio. And Ford is running home, and that did not work. Ford was trying to steal home there, but Huntington North recognized it, and the catcher Bartram made a nice play to tag him out. So that will end the second inning with the score tied at 1. We will be right back at the top of the third here on CSBN, your worldwide leader in Charger sports.
This is Dave Ginder, head baseball coach of the back-to-back state champion Chargers, and you're listening to Charger Baseball on CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports.
Welcome back to CSBN, your worldwide leader in Charger sports. Leading off the third inning for the Vikings is number 13, Ethan Bartram.
He struck out his first time up, and Lotiger back on the mound. We'll see what he does. He's thrown 53 pitches through 2 innings, and that one grounded down the third base line at just foul.
That one was close. Went right off to the left right before it hit third base.
But good call. That one definitely did look foul on a close call. Lotiger into the windup pitch is high. Ball 1. It took him 53 pitches to get through 2 innings, so a high pitch count so far. How many innings do you think he'll be able to go if he keeps pitching at that rate?
He might be able to go the whole way. We'll just see. It just depends on how how he stands on the mound and how much of a stress factor comes into play too. So he's had to come out of 2 big holes in the first 2 innings.
But he's only allowed the 1 run, so Carroll was able to tie it up for him. Lotiger into the windup, and that one is ripped, and a diving attempt by Connor Hansen was unsuccessful. A good effort, but that
was a very great hit by Ethan Bartram.
But a good job to limit Bartram to a single. Good job by the center fielder, Drew Tranquil.
Single. I'm keeping track. I'm just not.
So that is the 3rd hit for Huntington North in the game so far.
So now we have a batter on first, and coming up to bat is number 7.
Second baseman.
5.
Oh, number 5, excuse me. Number 5, Trevor Story, the pitcher for today's matchup.
And there's a pickoff move from Lotiger, and Bartram is back in there safely.
Story's first at bat, he had a pop fly into center field, but he hit that sucker almost getting to the fence.
That one low, and this Ford throws it back down to first. They do not want to take any chances with Bartram on the base path.
Especially Story. Story nailed that ball out to center field, and Drew Tranquil was able to catch it before it hit the fence.
So a good pitcher and a good hitter so far today. Double threat there. Lotiger looks over at the runner, pitches, and a bunt attempt. Lotiger will go to second, and they get the force. Good hustle by Lotiger, and now that will keep a runner out of scoring position as Story is safe at first, an unsuccessful sacrifice bunt there. So there is a runner on first with 1 out for Jared Green, the second baseman. What did he do his first time up?
Jared Green had a single out to right field.
So a sacrifice bunt. And the first pitch is a breaking ball low for ball 1. What have you seen, or what do you think of Lotiger's breaking ball so far?
I don't think it's been terribly bad. He's had some good pitches and he's had some bad pitches.
And that one hit hard. Good play by Ross Coble, and that good hustle, steps on the bag, throws over to Ginder at first for the 6-3 double play. Good job there by Carroll's defense. So that will be the end of the top of the 3rd inning. The score is still 1-1. We'll be right back with the bottom of the 3rd on CSBN, your worldwide leader in Charger sports.
This is Dave Ginder, head baseball coach of the back-to-back state champion Chargers, and you're listening to Charger Baseball on CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports.
Hello everybody and welcome back to CSBN, worldwide leader in Charger sports. Once again, I'm Nathan Weaver along with
Matthew James.
And coming up to bat next, I believe, is Connor Hansen, because Matt Kowalski was not able to hit anything because...
Well, Kowalski's going to be up because...
Elliot Ford was tied out at home. He tried to steal.
Interesting play trying to steal home there. But that's just not... unless there's like an ephus thrown, it's going to be pretty tough. We saw an ephus in the softball game the other day, and it came so slow.
Yeah.
20 miles an hour.
And now Matt Kowalski, the first pitch.
He'll get another crack at Story here as the count is reset here. Story of the pitch, and Kowalski lines it foul. That one jammed him in on the hand, so he
Matt
had to
Kowalski-
fight it off.
Kowalski put a lot into that one, but was unable to get it around and went right off off to the right.
Kowalski's hit 238 so far in the season with no home runs and 4 RBIs. The second pitch is a little high for ball 1. So a ball and a strike count here on Kowalski. Trevor Story has not had to throw a ton of pitches, just 28 so far through a little more than 2 innings. The pitch is high and inside for ball 2.
And out of those 29 pitches, he's had a great deal of strikes with 16. With the count at 2-1. Pitch is coming up for Matt Kowalski.
We'll see if he can get a hit here to lead off the bottom of the third. Story's pitch is on the inside corner for a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. Story has shown good but not great control. Do you think? How hard do you think he's throwing so far?
That's very hard to tell. I mean, he's putting some heat on a lot of them, but there's some of them that he needs to slow down in order to...
I mean, like, do you think he's throwing as hard as he can, or is he saving a little bit for later in the game?
I mean, often earlier in the game, they're going to save it for when they need it the most, but...
And Kowalski takes 2 pitches just high for ball 4. He walks. So Connor Hansen up for Carroll. He is 0 for 2 on the season in limited, or 0 for 1 on the season in limited plate opportunities. This is his first start of the season, I believe, and we'll see what he can do here. He has walked once, so he has been on base. And he has Kowalski on first.
And if I believe so, he played a little bit of varsity last year. He was a reserve for Carroll.
Hansen with a good bunt there down the first base line. Story has to hustle just to get him, as Kowalski was easily in at second. He was already standing there waiting for the out by the time Whitman got the ball over at first base. So a good sacrifice bunt from Hansen. Runner on second now, Kowalski for Drew Tranquil, who walked and was tagged out in a rundown at second in his first at-bat.
So now Kowalski has advanced to second. Coming up to bat is number 16, the top of the lineup, Drew Tranquil.
He hit a home run in yesterday's game, so he has a home run and 4 RBIs. And the pitch from Story is on the inside corner, just missed, ball 1.
Last time at bat, he walked, but he was also tagged out at second as...
Tranquil is the team's best player at getting walks. That one of the first inning was his 9th already of the season. We've seen a lot of bunts here in this game, so a lot of strategy from both teams. As Story, little fake pickoff move there. Kowalski goes back to second. Nobody was covering the bag though, so no throw, or it would have just sailed to the center field, which wouldn't have been the best thing for Huntington North. Never. So a runner is on second with 1 out for Tranquil. Tranquil takes the pitch high. 2 balls, no strikes.
Score tie 1-all. Both scores coming in the second inning, so...
Yep. Everything Huntington North has done so far, Carroll's been able to match, and both pitchers have gotten out of some jams in the first 2 innings.
Well, there's only been 5 total hits, like you said earlier, a lot of walks this game so far, only 5 total hits in the first 3 innings of this matchup.
Tranquil swings at a pitch a little high for strike 1. Along with his 9 walks, he has also struck out 6 times, which is near the top of his team. So we'll see what he does as Story looks back, Kowalski to second, and there's a slow changeup almost that was a little bit low for ball 3. 3 balls and a strike on Tranquil, who his home run yesterday, well, I heard was way out past the center field wall. You see the flag there? I think it went about 20 feet past it, and he walks again. So yeah, they said it was a very long hit. So even though he's the leadoff hitter, he shows a little bit of power there and walks for the second time in the game. So runners are on first and second for Tanner Ginder.
Now batting is their first base.
What did Ginder do his first time
Tanner Ginder.
Tanner Ginder had a ground out over to the shortstop. As he had a lot of time to bat there. As he constantly he fouled it out, or a couple walks, couple strikes there, here and there. So
Story's first pitch is right down the middle for strike one. So there's one out, but runners on first and second, so a good opportunity here for Carroll. Story's pitch is a little high, ball one. So he has 2 walks in the game so far. Ginder 0 for 1, so that drops him to 6 of 27 on the season. Story looks back at the runners from the stretch, and Ginder tries to bunt, but it is well fouled, so a ball and 2 strikes.
and that's Ginder's second time trying to bunt in his first 2 times at bat. He tried to bunt a couple times in the second inning, or the first inning.
But they did not work, as Tranquil was eventually picked off, so there was no need to bunt. Again, but we have seen a lot of bunts in this game. Do you think that's a strategy play?
It's got to be when both teams are trying to do it at the same time.
Ginder hits one between the hole of short and third, and now the bases are loaded for Carroll with Grant Wilson coming up to the plate with just 1 out. And if you're in Huntington North, you better watch out here. Wilson had an home run and 5 RBIs in the game yesterday. He's up to 2 home runs and 15 on the season.
He's always been a great power hitter for Carroll, and especially last year, he was a big factor in them winning another state title.
And he's the quarterback of the football team.
Yeah.
So, good multi-sport athlete. He doesn't play basketball, though.
No.
But we can't ask too much of him. Story's pitch is over a little bit outside, though, for ball 1. That one looked pretty good to us. It was at the thighs, maybe at the belt, so must have been a little bit outside.
Grant Wilson grounding out the first in his first at bat. Coming up for the next pitch. He's not going to swing at that one. They're going to call that a strike.
On the outside corner, good pitch location. But if Wilson swung at that, he would have gotten full extension. So I'm a little bit surprised they didn't pull the trigger at that one. He's got a golden opportunity here with the bases loaded. The pitch from Story, and that one, hard cut, fouled it straight back. Behind the plate, out of play. A ball and 2 strikes on Wilson. Both teams have 3 hits here. And there is just 1 out, so maybe a sacrifice fly if it's a fly ball.
Maybe even a single would.
Well, a single's going to score.
Matt Kowalski would score him and put Carroll back on the lead, which they have not been able to be in the lead for today's game.
Kowalski, if they do try to steal home again, does have 1 stolen base on the season. But I wouldn't advise trying to steal home here.
Not in this situation.
Story again. Into the windup. The pitch is high, ball 2. That one at the head of Wilson, over at head level. So good pitch not to swing at.
It would also be good if Grant Wilson could get a double here. We'd be able to
possibly score 3 runs.
Possibly, it depends on how fast.
I like the angle, but we'll see what happens. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out. As Story is going to reset and try to regain his focus and composure. Story sets into the windup, throws. Wilson cannot pull the trigger, and that one on the inside corner for strike 3.
And that was a great pitch by Story right down the middle.
A little breaking ball, it just froze him. You could see Wilson wanted to pull the trigger, but he just could not quite get himself to do it. So now the cleanup hitter, Peyton Loniger, just as big a threat as Wilson.
I believe that was Story's first strikeout of the game.
Yes, it was. That is a very good pitch. And now there's 2 outs for Loniger. Loniger takes the first pitch high, then almost came in and hit him. But Loniger has 2 home runs and 14 RBIs himself. So he's the cleanup hitter, so he is no worse than Wilson and is just as big a threat. But Loniger resets. He is hitting .464 on the season. That is ridiculous.
And he's hitting.
He has not walked though this season. He also has a .679 slugging percentage.
Over 500, which is great.
Yep. He takes strike one. If you don't know how to calculate slugging percentage, it's total bases divided by at-bats for our listeners that don't know that. Now you learned something. He takes strike one, a ball and a strike on Loniger. The pitch, and Loniger swings at one at the chest, strike two.
We're also educational up here.
Yep, it's always good to know those stats, at least how to calculate them. You can't memorize everything.
So now we have 3 hits from both Huntington North and your Carroll Chargers.
They've been very similar so far. A ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs for Loniger with the bases loaded. The pitch, and he rips it into the right center field, and a acrobatic catch somewhat by Cody Frazier, who misjudged it a little bit, but makes the catch in time. So Carroll wastes an opportunity with the bases loaded. Both teams have done that twice in this game so far. So that is the end of 3 innings. The score is tied at 1. We'll be back with the 4th here on CSBN, your worldwide leader in Charger sports.
This is Dave Ginder, head baseball coach of the back-to-back state champion Chargers, and you're listening to Charger Baseball on CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports.
Welcome back to CSBN, your worldwide leader in Charger sports. Of course, I'm Nathan Weaver once again with Matt. And today, Peyton Loniger throwing 2 strikes, but overall he has not done too bad. We've only had 3 hits off of him. First ball,
hit by Gower down the line, just foul. We've seen a couple of those that have just missed down the line on the third base line. Gower, what did he do his first time up?
Gower's first time up, he had a ground out, thrown out at first.
Well, we'll see what happens here in a second at that. It is, as the second pitch is over the plate, 4 strike 2, 0-2 count. Loniger quickly on the third pitch. That one is fouled off so it's still an 0-2 count here with no outs.
Loniger's starting to heat up his pitch a little bit at top of the 4th here.
Yep, he seems like he's saved a little bit now. He's thrown 64 pitches so far. Pitch number 65 is high for ball 1.
That one was just a tad bit high. Could have been called a strike if it came down just a tad bit.
Let's see what happens on the 5th pitch. And that one, good changeup. And he had Gower out in front of it for a strikeout. How many strikeouts is that now for Loniger?
That's 3 for Loniger in this game.
Good job. So now the 9th hitter, right fielder Braden Still, who rounded out to first his first time up. Loniger's first pitch is swung on and missed by Still, strike 1.
Well, what's funny is Gower and Still had about the same ground out.
They were both sacrifice bunt attempts.
And they were both over. First one went straight to the first baseman, Ginder, and the second one went right to Loniger, and he threw it back over to first.
The second pitch was low. The third pitch is right down the middle for strike 2. Loniger's moving quickly, but he is moving efficiently also.
Starting to really feel comfortable.
Already into the windup, the throw, the pitch is high. 2 balls and 2 strikes, and he's throwing the 4 pitches in like 45 seconds, this and that. He has done it quickly and efficiently. The 5th pitch is just high, ball 3. That one was close. Do you agree with the ball call there?
I do, but that was a very close call, but Loniger is really starting to
Loniger.
And that one nailed right into center field. Pop fly, caught.
Good job there. Still's fly ball caught by the center fielder, Tranquil. And that was just a can of corn that looked like it came off the bat a little harder than it actually did. So that is 2 outs. Both teams still with 1 run on 3 hits. The only difference on the scoreboard there is Carroll has an error. And now batting is the leadoff hitter, Cody Frazier. And this is his 3rd at bat. What has he done his first 2?
Of course, he was hit by the pitch by Peyton Loniger. The first 2 batters were starting off rough for Peyton Loniger, and he was walked his 2nd at bat, and he scored.
So he has the run, and he swings at a breaking ball in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And Frazier scored off an RBI single by Kendall Whitman.
Loniger's moving real quickly. He's already back into the windup. The pitch is Right down the middle, strike two. Good pitch.
Now 2-1 count for Loninger. He's already starting.
Nobody's on base for Huntington North. 1-2 count, 2 outs, and that one just getting a piece of it is Frazier to stay alive. That one hitting the bottom of the bat.
And Loninger calmed down a little bit and took his time on that pitch. Gave himself a little bit more time.
Oh, so it's still 1 ball and 2 strikes on Frazier.
Wind up. Pitch. Swung
Strike
out.
3.
But
Ball
they
into
throw
the
it to
dirt,
first.
Ford. Perfect throw. Out number 3.
And that one came off of Elliott Ford's glove, so they had to throw it over to first.
Good recognition and good. That was a perfect throw. It got it around the runner, so no harm done there on the drop ball. And that will end the top of the 4th inning with the score still 1-1. We'll be right back with the bottom of the 4th here on CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports.
This is Dave Ginder, head baseball coach of the back-to-back state champion Chargers, and you're listening to Charger Baseball on CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports.
Hello and welcome back to CSBN, your worldwide leader in Charger sports. Carroll Chargers still tied with Huntington North Vikings 1-1. As Peyton Loninger was really heating up his pitches last inning, and he got his 3rd strike of the game.
Elliott Ford up, and he hits that for the first pitch high into the air into shallow left field. The shortstop, Brock Gower, is there, gets under it, and makes the catch for the pop fly. That is quickly out number 1. Now the 6th hitter DH, Cody Chase, is up for Carroll. He grounded out to first on a bunt attempt in his first at-bat.
I believe,
The first pitch is on the inside corner for a strike.
and I believe that was very successful because that let Peyton Loninger go to 3rd and Elliott Ford to 2nd when Cody Chase bunted in the 1st.
And he eventually scored. Chase is hitting .273 so far in the season. He hits that one right up the middle between the second baseman and the shortstop for a single. That is hit number 4 for Carroll. And there's finally a little bit of a difference on the scoreboard now. Small at 1-3-0 for Huntington North, 1-4-1 for Carroll. So quickly, 2 quick at-bats ended. 1 a pop fly, 1 a single. Ross Coble is up for Carroll now. He is the 2nd best hitter on the team, hitting .385. Takes a strike there. No balls and a strike with a runner on first. Cody Chase has not stolen any bases so far this season. He's the DH, not really known as a speedster.
He just has a lot of power. He's a good pitcher. And he's able to hit the ball with a lot in his shoulders, and has a lot of power to the ball.
Well, he takes a hanging breaking ball that he could have blasted for strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes, and a pickoff move. That one was close, but
he's my
back
cousin.
in safely.
Coach Chase is my cousin, so I've been watching him over the years play baseball, and he's always been a really big hitter, and he's able to pitch the ball at a really fast speed and very effectively. But
he
the
is
speed factor,
DH.
he's not much of a speed factor.
So 0-2, 2 pickoff moves from Story unsuccessful, and that one just missed low and away for ball 1. That one was close. Right at the knees. Gotta be careful there if you're Coble. You almost got a called 3rd strike there.
When he singled out to first in his first at bat, so hopefully he can get something started here. He's always been a big hitter for Carroll this year.
The 3rd pitch, strike 3, and he struck out on 4 pitches there. Not a very good at bat.
2nd strikeout.
Not a very good at bat for Coble. So that is out number 2, runner on first for Matt Kowalski.
And this is actually his 3rd at bat, but
Really?
because Elliott Ford getting tied down at
and that one a breaking ball in the dirt, ball 1.
But technically it's his 2nd at bat. The first he walked at first.
Yeah, next time he should try walking to 3rd base.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. You get 3 bases on a walk. That'd make it a lot easier to score.
Coach Ginder standing over on 3rd.
1 ball, no strikes. Kowalski takes a strike on the inside corner. That pitch was, it jammed him a little. He couldn't get extension. That's a tough pitch to swing on.
So now 1-1 count for Kowalski. Coming up to bat after him is number 21, Connor Hansen.
If Kowalski doesn't get out, as there are 2 outs here. Kowalski is hit on the back by a breaking ball. He is unaffected. He is just fine. Quickly to first, and now runners on first and second for Hansen, who has a good opportunity here in his first start.
And that's the first one that's kind of gone wild from Story. That's the first person he's hit today by a pitch. So, pray to Peyton Linger's 2.
There is some home support coming out for Hansen now. He has just 2 at-bats in the season. He's 0 for 2. He has a runner in scoring position, and that one is high and inside for ball 1.
He had a grand slam and he had a bases loaded triple.
So, has Hansen, an infielder, he's pretty good on defense, but he has not had a lot of opportunities to swing the bat yet. There's a little pickoff move, no throw, but Story wants to keep the runners in check. Story has thrown 62 pitches so far, compared to 75 for Loniger. Story out from the stretch. The pitch is on the inside corner for a strike, and there's a throw from the catcher to the first baseman. Gets away, but the runners do not advance.
And it looked like Coach Gender wanted to chase and move down to third, but he moved right back to second after he saw that ball.
That pitch looked inside, but it was called a strike. So a ball and a strike on Hansen with 2 outs. Runner still on first and second. Hansen has a wide stance there with his legs. See if how effective this is. And he gets a hard hit there, but it is right to the shortstop. Flips it to the second baseman.
He really nailed that ball.
Out number 3. So Hansen just couldn't quite get a hit there, but made good, solid contact.
And that's his second ground out of his first 2 at-bats, but he really nailed that one. And that's going to end the 4th.
The score is tied at 1 still. We are going to be right back at the top of the 5th right after this.
This is Dave Ginder, head baseball coach of the back-to-back state champion Chargers, and you're listening to Charger Baseball on CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports.
And welcome back to Dean R. Gorsuch Center. This is Nathan Weaver and
Matthew James.
And coming up to bat next for the Vikings is Kendall Whitman. He was hit by the pitch in his first at bat, and then he had an RBI single, which led to Cody Frazier scoring the first run of the game. The score is now tied at 1-1. So coming up to bat now is Whitman, the first baseman.
Loniger is still in, and his first pitch is a breaking ball, low and outside for ball 1. That breaking ball had a lot of break to it, like near the end of the plate.
Loniger's really starting to heat him up that one.
Called a foul ball. That one died when it hit the bat, then landed just in front of the plate for a foul ball. Strike 1. There, Loniger has thrown 78 pitches so far, so I'm guessing he'll go a 5th inning if he goes through this one unscathed before coming out. Whitman, that one in on the hands. He pops it up into foul territory, and that one gets past Grant Wilson there in left field in foul territory. So a ball and 2 strikes on Whitman, and he is 1 for 1 in the game, along with a hit by pitch.
Tanner Ginder wearing the number 3 this year. Originally, he was wearing the number 2, I believe, in his previous years. So must have.
Whitman hits that one out into pretty deep right. Long run for Kowalski in foul territory, and he just missed getting there. Great effort. He's on the warning track. Lays there in anguish for a second after missing the ball.
Nice try by Matt Kowalski over there.
He definitely gave it a good effort. He does have decent speed. He does have a stolen base on the season. Still a ball and 2 strikes. The count on Whitman. The ball eventually thrown back into.
I'll tell you, Carroll's really doing a good job coming up against this red-hot Huntington North Viking team, as they are 10-0 once again, like we said this season. Carroll, I believe, going 8-2 so far this season.
7-2. And that one is a little low for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
So now, with Mitch Traglap up, he struck out his first at bat, and he had a single, his second at bat. And now it looks like a little bit of confusion, but
I'm not sure what happened there. Whitman apparently
Swung and missed that kid.
Swung and missed, so it's going to be a strike.
apparently the ball hit him and he swung at it anyway, so that's strike 3 is an odd strikeout. And now Mitch Trigloff is up for Huntington North. He struck out and singled in his first 2 at-bats, 1 for 2. Loniger's first pitch inside for ball 1. Looked pretty good from here.
Loniger has 4 strikeouts for the game compared to Story's 2. Now the next pitch by Loniger, swung out and missed for the first strike, 1-1 with counter.
Trigloff has already struck out once in the game, so we'll see if he's the type of power hitter that strikes out a lot. Loniger's next pitch is outside for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike.
Carroll is really putting in the effort defensively today, diving for a lot of balls and putting in a lot of effort. It's paying off for him.
Loniger's pitch swung on and missed on the changeup. Trigloff missed it. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
2 beautiful pitches in a row by Payne Loniger.
He has looked pretty good here in the last 3 innings. That pitch is just off the outside corner. That one looked good from here. Full count now on Trigloff with nobody on and 1 out as the Suns come out here, and we'll see if that affects the batters or the pitcher at all here. As Loniger's pitch is way off there on a breaking ball attempt, splitter, and that will be ball 4. Runner on first.
They can teach him how to.
So he's going to be walked in his 3rd at-bat coming up for his 2nd at-bat, the designated hitter, number 14, Evan Brown.
Evan Brown walked and hit a pop fly.
And he was tagged out at 2nd.
In his 2 at-bats so far, he is the cleanup hitter. He is the DH, who he is known for his offense over at Huntington North. Loniger from the stretch pitches up sharp to 3rd, and that's a bad throw there from Kent. Trying to go to 3rd and safe. Bad throw from Kent. That skidded across the infield. Kinder stopped it but couldn't catch it. Runners on the corners now, 1st and 3rd with just 1 out. For number 13 is coming into the game now.
Number 13 is Ethan Bartram, the catcher. He struck out in his first at-bat, and he had a single out to center field. He really nailed that one last inning.
He has played well at behind the plate so far, and he has a golden opportunity here. A pitch from Loniger is low and outside, ball 1. So there are runners on the corners, and again, Loniger is going to try to get out of a jam. Do you think he'll be able to do it this time?
He's done it twice, so hopefully he can pull him out this time.
3rd time's the charm. The pitch is ripped into left center field. That one is going to come off the wall. Wilson throws it in quickly. 1-1 will score. An RBI double for Bartram. Evan Brown, not fast at all, and he is held up at 3rd. So, runners on 2nd and 3rd with just 1 out for number 5, Trevor Story, the pitcher. And he is still on the mound. He will, with the at-bat here, it looks like he'll come out for a 6th inning of work.
And that will put the Vikings up on your Chargers at the bottom of the 5th, on top of the 5th.
So 2-1 Huntington North now. 2 runners in scoring position for Story, and that one a slider on the outside corner for a strike. No balls and a strike, just 1 out. So again, an opportunity here for Huntington North to extend the lead, possibly break the game open. And that one hit right at the right fielder, Kowalski, over his head, and it's going to bounce off the wall on 1 hop. He throws it in quickly, and that will be a double for Trevor Story. 2 runs score. It is 4-1 Huntington North.
That was a beautiful hit by Trevor Story, and 2 RBI doubles in a row, which will put the Huntington North Vikings up 4-1 on the Chargers, and Coach Kinder coming out to talk to Loniger at the moment. See if he keeps him in or he's going to take him out at the moment.
Well, there is a pitcher in the bullpen. I think that is Newman. He has not played so far today. He normally comes out of the bullpen. He has come in 3 times this year and thrown 8 2/3.
And they're going to keep Longer in for the moment.
And that is Newman out in the bullpen. But now there is a runner on second, and still now hitting Jared Green, number 1, the second baseman. Green has a single out to right field and a ground out. And that pitch is a strike, and they try a pickoff move to second from the catcher. That's interesting. But Story back in there safely.
Which is what he did at state last year.
What has Green done so far?
Everybody was sure he was
Green has singled out to right field, and he's also grounded out, so he hasn't had a successful day so far.
Not at the plate, but we'll see if he can change that here. And he hits that one in the air into left field, and it is a foul ball. So no balls, 2 strikes on Green. Wilson gave chase there, but didn't quite get to it. So an 0-2 count here with 1 out on Green, and Lonergan could really use an out here. Looks back at second. The pitch is a little bit high for ball 1.
Ball 2.
Get a batter out.
Oh, that's ball 1. Jared Green is just 5'5", not a very big player. It's about my size. But Green hard hit off the glove of Kent. He couldn't quite reach that one. Wilson into the plate, and that will score a Ron Green.
And the third RBI double, and the top of the 5th, and that will score another run, putting the Vikings up 5-1 over your Chargers.
Story scores, and now again they're coming to conference with Lonergan on the mound, and this time Newman will come in. You know the rule, right? Set 2 conferences, the bullpen pitcher is going to come in. Well, at least that's how it works in the majors. So they're just talking to him and getting their signals for Newman to come in, and here he comes.
Looks like they're going to send Lonergan over to shortstop.
They're moving Ross Coble to third, and Matt Kent will go into the dugout. So a little defensive change in the alignment. Mason Newman on for his 4th appearance of the year. He does not have a record, no wins, no losses. Has thrown 8 2/3 with a 1.62 ERA. He's thrown 6 strikeouts compared to 5 walks, so not great control. He has and hitters are hitting .317 against him and getting on base at a .417 rate. So not great statistics. As Newman's going to come in here, he is a pitcher and plays first base. He is not a very good hitter. He's hitting just .083 so far.
He is a very successful pitcher. He had a lot of success last year, but hasn't played at first base today like he usually does. Tanner Gunder has come into that role for at least this game. And he's done a pretty good job at it. He's only had 1 error, and that was a weak throw over from third from number 28.
28's Matt Kent.
Matt Kent, and he had a lot of struggle getting that over to first. And now, coming up to bat next for the Huntington North Vikings is number 7, Brock Gower. He's had a ground out from first, and he struck out in that. Gave Lonergan his 4th.
Change in the Carolina. The new pitcher is
So Ford comes out to talk to Newman.
So now
Newman's done with his warm-ups. Gower's set in at the plate, and Newman is about to start his 4th outing here of the season. Newman, from the stretch, the pitch is a little bit low for ball 1. So a 1-out count. Gower has a runner in scoring position, which is Green, to work with here, and there's still just 1 out. Newman's pitch is ripped between stopped by Lonergan, low ball and way over the head of Ginder. Green's going to score easily. Gower to second, and that is error number 2 for Carroll. And that one was not Newman's fault. That was just bad defense. Score 6-1.
And that's another RPI double, the 4th in a row.
Well, that one's going to be a single and an error. And there is not going to be an RBI because Green came around on the error. He would have just made it to third if it weren't for the bad throw. So now Braden Still up. He takes strike one and a runner again on second for Huntington North. The score is 6-1. Newman throws that one a breaking ball outside, ball one. Huntington North has really broken this game open here in the fifth inning. The score now 6-1. It was tied at 1 before the inning, but a good change-up there baffled Still, and it is 1 ball, 2 strikes on him. Gower has good speed, but not great speed at second base. Newman and gets hit. A little pop fly into fairly deep center. And Tranquil makes the catch. Tagging and going to third is Gower. And he is in there in time. He had about a second on the throw.
That's his second pop fly in a row, and he hit both of those to center field.
So a fly out for Still, and now the leadoff hitter, Cody Frazier, back up for the 4th time already here in the 5th inning.
And he has had not much success. First 2 pitches, he was hit by the pitch and walked, and then he was thrown out at first in his 3rd.
So he's 0 for 1, but has gotten on base twice. So that's still pretty successful. Newman has gotten hits. He has gotten on base, and that's what you want out of your leadoff hitter.
Looks like a curveball.
And got the breaking ball, a little bit of a slider, maybe a curveball. Maybe we'll call it a slurve.
A slurve.
That does exist. 4 strike 1.
All right.
No, that is actually an actual pitch. Newman is that's
Swung
a nice
out
curveball. Strike 2. That one had good break, just went straight down, and that one's fooled Frazier. So a quick 0-2 count. 0-2 count on Frazier. Newman looking for a quick 1-2-3 at bat here. The pitch as driven out into right field. Center field, Tranquil comes on and makes the catch for out number 3. So the score is now 6-1 Huntington North after 4.5 innings. We will be right back with the bottom of the 5th here right after this on CSBN, your worldwide leader in Charger sports.
This is Dave Ginder, head baseball coach of the back-to-back state champion Chargers, and you're listening to Charger Baseball on CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports.
Welcome back to CSBN, your worldwide leader in Charger sports. Coming up in the lineup for the Chargers, starting first is Drew Tranquil, followed by Tanner Ginder and Grant Wilson.
What has Tranquil done so far?
Tranquil has walked, and he was tagged out at second, and he walked once more at second at bat.
So he's walked twice. That's walks 9 and 10 on the season for him. And the first pitch from Story is over the plate, strike 1 at the knees. Good pitch. Story's still throwing just 65 pitches here in the bottom of the 5th, so pretty low pitch count. Tranquil is jammed in on the hands cross. It's straight back out of play for an 0-2 count here. So he's into an early hole. The pitcher's got the early advantage here in the at-bat. Tranquil has struck out 6 times on the season. Story the pitch. And he could not hold up. Strike 3. So good morning, good afternoon.
Strike 3
good
and
night.
3rd strikeout for Story.
So that is not how Tranquil wanted to
So
lead off the end.
So far in this matchup, Story has had 67 pitches. 41 of them have been strikes. So 26 balls for Story.
Tanner Ginder now up for Carroll, and what has he done so far?
He has had a ground out to the shortstop and a single out to left field.
Well, first pitch grounds it to second, and a 4-3. Well done, as Green quickly throws it over to Whitman. So 2 quick outs here for Carroll, who definitely wants to get a couple of runs here, because after this they only have 2 more opportunities to get back in this game. Grant Wilson now up, and he has grounded out to first and struck out in his 2 at-bats so far.
Carroll has struggled all game. Very many ground outs, especially over the shortstop or back over to first base, but Carroll really had a tough time hitting the ball tonight as Grant Wilson comes up, and he's had a ground up at first, and he's also struck out in this game.
He took strike 1 a moment ago. The second pitch from Story is strike 2. Umpire thought it was 3. That is just 2.
Wilson did not agree with that call.
Get carried away, did he?
Well, that one was on the inside corner. That was only 2 strikes, and that might make the not top 10. That was entertaining. 0-2 count on Wilson. Story into the windup. The pitch is low and outside for ball 1. Carroll, as you said, has struggled offensively. They have just 4 hits in the game, 3 errors, and that is a reason why they are down 6-1. Story into the windup, and that pitch again low, a little breaking ball. So 2 balls and 2 strikes on Wilson now. Wilson has 2 home runs and 15 RBIs on the season, like we've said. He has walked 4 times.
Carroll has only hit the ball 4 times in this entire game compared to Huntington North 7.
Wilson gets a hard shot to the first baseman, Whitman. Good job by Story to cover the bag. Good fundamentals. Wilson thrown out at first in time. So a quick 1-2-3 inning for Story, and that will end the 5th inning with the score 6-1. Huntington North leading the Chargers. We'll be right back with the 6th inning on CSBN, your worldwide leader in Charger sports.
This is Dave Ginder, head baseball coach of the back-to-back state champion Chargers, and you're listening to Charger Baseball on CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports.
Welcome back to CSBN, your worldwide leader in Charger sports. Coming up to bat for the Huntington North Vikings is number 10, Kendall Whitman. He's kind of a successful day. He had an RBI single, which led to Frazier scoring the first run of the game. But now many more runs have come, and it's 6-1. And the Carroll Chargers find themselves in the deficit with Mason Newman up at the mound.
He is throwing 2 quick balls, and he threw those very close to each other. Did not take a lot of time. And now, 3rd pitch into the windup, and Whitman fights it off. Foul ball, 2 balls and a strike. Whitman has thrown 12 pitches so far through an inning. Whitman is 1 for 2 with the RBI single and a strikeout, and he's also been hit by a pitch, so this is his 4th at bat. The pitch is outside for ball 3. 3 balls and a strike on Whitman. And Newman has thrown 92 strikes compared to 73
And there's
balls
ball 4.
season. And that is a walk for Newman. That is his 6th walk. So now he has 6 strikeouts and 6 walks on the season, and that is not a good strikeout to walk ratio. He wanted a lot higher than 1.
Yeah.
So
That was strikeout on the year.
no, that's his strikeout to walk ratio. He has 6 of each. So that is a walk. Whitman on first. And now Mitch Trigloff is back at the plate, and he is hit. 3rd hit batter of the game for Huntington North, and now they have runners on first and second with no outs for Evan Brown.
So both pitchers, Lonergan and Newman, struggling, and Newman struggling right off the bat as he's had a couple of walks, but also a hit by pitch there. So coming up to bat next is number 14, Evan Brown. He's had a walk to first, a pop fly to first as well, and his last at bat was a single.
He takes a ball inside there, and this is a golden opportunity again for Huntington North to break this open. They get 5 runs again. It's the 10-run rule, and we're done because it's the 6th inning. So that's one thing you can take, as Brown fouls that one off well out of play. A ball and a strike. And Matt Kent is warming up in the Carroll bullpen, as Newman has not looked great here so far, and especially here in the 6th
So
inning.
hopefully he can turn around. Last inning struggled and starting to struggle here. See him in on first and second.
Newman, nice changeup there over the plate, high strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Brown. No outs, runners on first and second. And the score is 6-1 Huntington North, who broke it open in the 5th inning, scoring 5. The pitch from Newman is... Ow! That hit him in the helmet. Yeah, that hit him in the helmet. So that will load the bases. That is an interesting way to load the bases. A walk and 2 straight hit by pitches.
Now equal 4 for the game.
We haven't seen a lot of control from the Carroll pitchers today. As now the bases are loaded for Ethan Bartram, who has struck out, singled, and hit an RBI double, so 2 for 3. And Newman needs an out here, but it is bases loaded with no outs as Ford and Coach Ginder come out to conference with him.
And you guys, also, quick break, you can join us on CSBN online at Twitter. You can also join us on our Facebook page, where you can get the next up-and-coming games for the Chargers.
And you can listen to our great voices here do some more games. You always have that to look forward to.
Always.
Smith running for
And we have a pinch runner, number 16, Quentin Smith, is coming in for Evan Brown. So that's the first change in the Huntington North lineup today. They have looked very good, and there's a reason why they are number 5 in the state. They've also played good defense today. They are ranked number 14 in the state in defense. As now Bartram is up. The pitch from Newman is a curveball, strike 1. No balls and a strike on Bartram.
And a very solid curveball for Newman.
The bases are loaded with no outs. Newman is in a jam here. Huntington North should get a run here. And that one low and outside for ball 1. A ball and a strike. The count on Bartram. Bartram is 2 for 3 in the game, and he has done a good job behind the plate. Newman into the windup, and that one is outside. Ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Newman gets 2 more balls here. That's going to walk in a run. That's just not what you want.
And coming up next after Bartram is number 5, Trevor Story. He's had a pop fly, a single, and a double RBI in last at bat.
Newman.
Pop fly by Newman, but that's going to go behind the dugout.
So 2 balls, 2 strikes, and Newman needs an out here. That if he does not get one, that means a run will have scored.
And that may force the next pitcher to come in for the Chargers, the third pitcher.
Which would be Kent. Newman the pitch. And that one, strike 3 on the outside corner. Good breaking ball.
And that's Newman's first strike out of the game.
So that's his 7th of the season. And that is a big out number 1.
And that's Ethan Bartram's second strikeout of the game on his 4 attempts at bat.
He's gotten hits the other 2 times. That'll make up for it. So that is, the bases are still loaded for Trevor Story, the pitcher.
No,
Newman he took a low strike at the ankles, but it was called a strike anyway.
So 1-0 count to Story. Story's been a huge factor for this team so far.
He has also pitched very well. Newman's pitch is a breaking ball low, ball 1. A ball and a strike on Newman.
So bases are loaded as a 1-1 count. Trevor Story. Pitch is getting winded up by Newman. Zach Canover in the...
and a ball outside thrown by Newman. 2 balls and a strike. Run out. The bases are still loaded.
Zach Kent still warming up over in the bullpen for the Chargers.
He has come in to pitch just once so far, and so if he comes in, it'll be his 2nd appearance. Newman, the pitch is grounded to second. They're going to try to turn through. Loniger gets it to Hansen, but the throw to Ginder not in time. So that will score a run to make it 7-1 Huntington North. Runners on 1st and 3rd now with 2 outs for number 1, Jared Green. What has Green done so far in the game?
Green singled out to right field. He also grounded out, but his last at bat he had an RBI double, and that was the 4th RBI double for the Vikings.
In the inning, as the umpires are talking quickly here as Ginder came out. I'm not sure what he's saying here.
He's trying to say that Ginder reached out and got the 1 and 2 out there, and the 2nd and 3rd out there, but
I thought he was safe.
It looked safe from here, but he had a reason to argue.
It was a close play, but I think he did not. As Story beat that by a step, I believe. What has Green done so far? There's a bunt. Sorry about that. And that was, again, a bunt there. He was trying to get the runner in from 3rd, Trigloff. He was been on base for a while now, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Most of the innings.
So now that we have a man got caught out on the second one, they have a man on first and third in running position here. Jared Green is trying to get something started here. As that ball was fouled out to the left.
Good cuts at the ball there. He's fouled off 2 good pitches. So an 0-2 count with 2 outs on Green. Here in the top of the 6th, the score 7-1 Huntington North. And Carroll is going to have to get out here if they want to prevent any further damage.
Here's a windup, and Newman, and that ball is going to be
Fouled off
into the left.
That's 3 straight foul balls here to start the at-bat for Green.
So still an 0-2 count remains. Coming up to bat next for the Vikings, if it is necessary, will be Brock Gower.
Green staring in at the pitcher. Newman gets the sign. From the stretch, the pitch is high. Ball 1. 1-2 count on Green with 2 outs. Huntington North has 7 runs on 7 hits, no errors compared to 1 run, 4 hits, 3 errors for Carroll. Not a very good day offensively. Newman into the windup and the pitch. Green fouls it up high.
To my Popeye Elliott Ford going to attempt to get that bat. It's going to go over Huntington North's dugout.
And so another foul ball, and Green is making a lot of contact here. Can't quite get a hit, but can't quite miss either, so he's not striking out.
Really throwing those balls straight down the middle. And he's getting...
that's just a free steal.
Oh, that was a good call. Good call by the umpires.
Trigloff got back in safely at
I
third.
think Roscoe wasn't able to stretch over quick enough.
That was interesting there. I haven't seen that in a while. Story just stole second before the pitch even happened. Just an unexpected steal. Good strategy. I like the idea. And the pitch, Green gets the hit. And missed.
Right past Peyton Lonergan for the 3rd error of the game.
4th error of the game.
4th error.
2 runs scored. It is 9-1 on an error. So Green reaches on the error. That is the 2nd time he's reached today, and it is 9-1 Huntington North.
And now coming up for the Vikings is Brock Gower. Like I said, he had a ground out to first, a strikeout, and he had a single the last at bat, but there was an error thrown back over to first,
which advanced him to 2nd, if I remember correctly.
And I think it scored a runner.
So the first pitch from Newman is a ball high and outside.
So 9-1 is the score now. One more will be the 10.
11-1 would be the 10-run run.
Oh yeah.
So Newman, the pitch is a ball in the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes. Runner on first is Green. He is 5'5". He's got a lot of speed, so you got to watch out for the stolen base threat here. Newman checking on him, then throws, and again outside 3-0 count. And we'll see if Gower's given the green light if there's a good pitch.
So here at D.R. Gorsuch Center, we've got a fairly stable game today as the Vikings have taken control of the Chargers.
It's been a one-sided game as Newman does throw a strike there. 3-1 count on Gower with 2 outs and a runner on first base. Newman throws. Gower rips it, and that's going to be a single. No, it's going to be a hit into the right center field gap. Green is going to advance to third. They're waving him around. Lonergan throws to home plate, and it is a little off. And that gets past the catcher forward. Gower is going to go to third, and that will score another run for Huntington North. That will be,
and that will give Gower an RBI double with an error.
Yeah, which advanced him to third. That is correct. So it is 10-1 Huntington North now. Runner on third, and one more run. It would be the 10-run rule.
So 10-1. This game has gotten out of control. Now Newman is coming out of the game, and the Chargers are going to bring in
Matt Kent.
Matt Kent. Not bad, eh? So Matt Kent was playing over at third earlier, but the transition from Lonergan to shortstop moved Coble over to third and brought Kent.
That side of the infield has been unstable today. A lot of errors. Carroll has 5 in the game. That is just not good defense. So Kent's going to warm up. So far in the season, he has appeared in 1 game. He got the win. He started that game. He threw 5 innings. He threw 84 pitches in the game. He has a 1.40 ERA, 4 strikeouts compared to 2 walks, and hitters are hitting .238 against him, so fairly effective in his first start. And he'll come
looking
in.
over at the scoreboard, the Vikings have gotten most of their runs from the last 2 innings of this game.
9 out of 10.
Previously only getting a run in the second inning compared to Carroll's 1 in the second inning as well.
Yeah, for the first 4 innings of this game, it was tight, and both teams were playing well, but in the last 2 innings, Huntington North's broke it open. Carroll crowd has gone quiet.
Ladies and gentlemen, they're changing the crowd.
Maybe it's not even here anymore, the crowd.
I don't even think the crowd's here anymore.
So Kent is all warmed up, and Braden still is ready and hits the first pitch, and between the gap in between short and third, and now a runner on first. There's the
Surprised
single.
they're not calling the...
So that scores a run, and so Still gets his first hit of the game, and now Frazier back up.
And, I mean, if you're going to go up against a number 5 state-ranked team, you're going to have to really...
But you'd expect the number 11 team in this game to play a lot better than this.
You're going to have to beat them defensively, and that's what Carroll has not done tonight. They've had 5 errors, excuse me. I mean, now coming up to bat, number 2, Cody Frazier. Now,
Frazier, that one diving effort from Coble. Onager in the shallow left for the ball. Runners are on first and second, still 2 outs for Kendall Whitman. The score 11-1 Huntington North. And Carroll has just not played a good game here today, especially in the last 2 innings. Kent looks in, sets, checks on the runners. Into the windup, throws, Whitman grounds it straight back to him, and that will end the top of the 6th inning. Finally, as Carroll again, just bad inning there. Now it is 11-1. We'll be right back with the bottom of the 6th inning, right after this on CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports.
This is Dave Ginder, head baseball coach of the back-to-back state champion Chargers, and you're listening to Charger Baseball on CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports.
Welcome back to CSBN, your worldwide leader in Charger sports. This game at D.R. Gorch Center has gotten out of hand. The Vikings lead your Chargers 11-1.
We have a pitching change. Kendall Whitman, who has been playing first all day, is coming in to pitch. Trevor Story is moved out into left field, and left fielder Caleb Richardson is playing at first base, I believe.
And coming up to bat for your Chargers, first at bat now is Peyton Loninger. He's singled out to center field, and he scored in first at bat. He had a pop fly out to center field in his second at bat. So this is his third. Carroll has not had many opportunities at the bat tonight.
So Loninger, he has 2 home runs and 14 RBIs on the season, so he's got a lot of talent hitting. And now, little pitching conference here with Whitman. We'll see how he does. He didn't throw too hard in his warm-up tosses as the pitcher and batter get back set into their positions. Whitman gets the sign from the catcher. Sets into the windup. The pitch is high, ball 1. A lot of speed, though, on that pitch.
That was a very high ball. The first one thrown by Whitman. The second one is getting set here. Here's the windup and the pitch.
Whitman's throw is high inside.
Loninger was thinking about swinging at that one, but he stopped himself at the last second.
I think that was a good idea. Whitman into the windup, the throw, and Loninger. Oh, good bounce to the shortstop. But the pitch snag is not being able to be made by Evan Brown, who's playing first. Good throw from Gower, but just couldn't quite get there. So Loninger will reach on an error, the first one of the day for Huntington North. So a runner on first for Elliott Ford. And what has Ford done so far? He has singled to left, and he was tagged out at home on a attempt to steal home, and he takes strike 1. Loniger has 2 stolen bases on the year. 1-0 count to, or 0-1 count to Ford. Curveball well outside and low. A ball and a strike. Again, the score is 11-1 Huntington North here. In the bottom of the 6th inning with no outs and a runner on first. That's Loniger. Whitman's pitch is drilled by Ford into center field. Going back and making the catch is Cody Frazier. Loniger back to first. And almost drove Frazier back to the warning track. Well hit ball by Ford, but just was not enough. And that is out number 1. Now, DH Cody Chase is up for Carroll.
And today, as a designated hitter, he grounded out to first, but he had a really nice, solid single out into center field at that second at bat. So now the count is 0-0.
So Whitman gets set, looks over at the runner, and the first pitch to Chase is well high for ball 1. As we said, Loniger has 2 stolen bases. Good, but not great speed. He is a threat. A pitch from Whitman. Chase fouls it off. Good pitch, good speed, right down the middle. Good pitch to hit. Just couldn't quite hit the barrel of the bat on it.
That's going to be a 1-1 count to Chase.
With 1 out and a runner on first. A lot of ones. The score's 11-1. So that pitch, a curveball on the inside corner for strike 2.
So we have a runner in first with a 1-2 count. And coming up the bat next is number 6, Ross Coble.
The pitch from Whitman is well inside, almost hit Chase. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Carroll, it's rally time as most of the dugouts standing. They want to see some runs here, but it's going to have to be. There's the pickoff move. But not a great throw, and Loniger is back in there safely. Good job by Brown not to let that one get past him. Excuse me.
Coach Kinder doesn't have to be really too happy with his team today as they've struggled defensively.
5 errors as the pitch is inside.
Compared to Huntington North's 1.
So it is a full count to Chase, and the pitch is high for ball 4. And now Carroll's got a couple of base runners, first and second for Coble. And what has he done so far?
Ross Coble was singled out to first, and he struck out his second at bat. So not too successful day for him.
Coble is the second best hitter on the team, 385, but he got struck out on a hanging curveball in his last at bat. And Whitman calls a conference with his catcher Bartram. Not sure what this is about. Do you think Ginder should be aggressive on the base pass here to try to get runners on second, third with the 1 out?
Well, they gotta play it safe at times, but I mean at this moment of the game when you're down by this much, you gotta take chances. So we'll see what he does.
Whitman into the lineup. The pitch is a ball just outside. 1 ball, no strikes.
Coble, the lefty, as he puts a lot of power into that ball.
He does have 9 RBIs on the season, no home runs yet. The pitch, and Coble lines it over the third base coach's head. Just missed him. Foul ball. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Runners on first and second. Whitman again gets the sign from the catcher. Bartram gets set. Pitching from the stretch. The windup, the throw, and Coble rips it past the shortstop into left center. Cut off by the left fielder, Story, excuse me, as they made the change before the inning. And now the bases are loaded for Matt Kowalski.
He walked to first, and he was hit by the pitch in his second at bat. So, really hasn't been able to hit the ball today. He's been pretty much attacked.
Yep. We'll see if he can get a hit here on that one. 2 runs, suddenly the game's a little bit more in reach. The first pitch low and outside. So the bases are loaded here as we have a 1-0 count. With Loniger on third base is the closest runner. Whitman, the pitch, is on the inside corner for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, and the bases are loaded.
Coming out to bat next is number 21, Connor Hansen. He's playing second base today. He's grounded out his first 2 at-bats.
He hit the ball hard in his last at bat. But Whitman, that pitch is on the outside corner for strike 2. So a 1-2 count on Kowalski, just one out. But we'll see what he does here. Kowalski has hit .238 on the season so far. The pitch from Whitman. Kowalski dribbles it back to him, and he comes home with it and gets an out. That will be the only one they get, but the bases are still loaded. But that is 2 outs, and now Connor Hansen, who is looking for his first hit of the season, and now would be a good time to get it. The score is 11-1. They're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Connor Hansen, as you said, has grounded out twice today in his second and third at-bats of the season. Whitman's first pitch is a strike at the knees. No balls and a strike on Hansen. With 2 outs and the bases loaded. Whitman sets into the windup. The pitch hit by Hansen, dribbled back to him, and that will be out number 3 as he tosses it to Brown.
His third ground out of the game.
So Hansen has just not quite been able to do it, and that will end the game due to the 10-run rule. So the final score here is 11-1 Huntington North, and we will be right back, and that will end the game. For have anything to say here?
According to this game, Carroll struggled defensively, but offensively they had a couple good hits, but a lot of errors for the Chargers. Players of the game, you believe? For the Chargers, at least. I would have to give it to Ross Coble. He had 2 singles out to center field and to first. And a line drive on the first one. But definitely for Huntington North, you're going to have to give it to Trevor Story.
Well, he pitched well, got a couple of big hits for Huntington North, and he started to break the game open in the 5th.
You could also give it to Jared Green. He had 2 singles and an RBI double. So
3 for 4 for him. Very productive at the plate. And then also, we have some upcoming broadcasts for you here. On Friday, the JV boys play Cherubusco. On Saturday, the Varsity boys will play Snyder. And on Saturday, April 28th, the girls will play Warsaw.
And for Huntington North, their upcoming games, they verse Homestead 2 days from now, and that is at home. And then they're going to stay at home and face Belmont 2 days after that. And they have a doubleheader on Saturday with the Belmont first, and then they're going to head over to Manchester.
So a busy day for them. So that will just about wrap it up here. We did not see a lot of good defense from Carroll today. 5 errors compared to just 1 for Huntington North. But we'll just fix the field back up as a couple players are taking rounders out on the field. And we'll just see if Carroll can rebound in their next game. So that will wrap it up here from the D.N.R. Gorsuch Athletic Complex. The final score, 11-1 Huntington North beats the Chargers. For Nathan Weaver, I'm Matthew James. We'll see you next time here on CSBN, your worldwide leader in Charger sports.
You've been listening to Charger Baseball on CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports.